to be here with you here at Emerge. My name is Francesca Casala-Covey, and I'm the head of platform partnerships for Facebook in Latin America. My job focuses on social impact, and I started my career working with entrepreneurs. I work at Facebook thinking about ways we can co-innovate with the nearly 80% of entrepreneurs that are on our platform that are not from the United States. And I like to say that I got my start thinking about social impact here in Miami Beach, where I apparently was an ambassador for a sunblock company focused on making sure people use lotion all the time. I still go to the beach wearing basically the same outfit. So when we think about Facebook, most of us probably think about the Facebook newsfeed. Social definitely is what comes to mind. And we think about the opportunities to connect with our friends and family. I'm lucky enough to work at one of the companies where we have a founder and CEO who's visionary, and he focuses on not only what products and tools he can create, but on outlining a 10-year roadmap that he shares publicly each year at F8. This may be familiar to some of you who joined F8 last year or this year. Among the tools and services we're building, you can see things that are familiar to you, such as Facebook and Instagram. We have 1.9 billion people who use Facebook every month. We have 700 million who use Instagram. You'll probably see other platforms you're familiar with, such as Messenger, where we have 1.2 billion monthly active users. And then you'll see some new technology that we're currently just in the first steps of innovating. Technology that focuses on connectivity, on AI, on VR and AR. And our next focus, which is why I'm here today, is about building community. We don't build any of these platforms and tools just to build them or because they're fun or innovative. We build them so that we can bring people together. Our mission at Facebook is to make the world more open and connected. And we know that this is only possible through community. When we're thinking about community, we're thinking about how it is that we can connect people with who they want, what they want, where they want. So it's really about engaging those groups of people together to interact both offline and online. And as we're thinking about that, and the focus of my role is to really think about three things: products, data, and programs. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the products that we're working with. The first one is on the Facebook platform. And for me, stories like this are really told not necessarily through the numbers that they help, but through the people that they affect. So when I joined Facebook nearly 4 years ago, one of the first organizations that I worked with was this organization called Collab. Collab is an organization that connects citizens with their governments based out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. And when I first met with them in 2014, they had one city on their platform. It was 2 of them. We met in a really small meeting space, and they told me all about their plan to make sure that regular Brazilian citizens have the opportunity to connect with their government. As we know, it can be very hard to connect with government. And we started working together. We had nearly weekly phone calls. We were on WhatsApp chats together, on Messenger chats, more emails than I can count. And since then, they have grown to over 100 cities in Brazil. They're using React Native, Facebook Messenger. They count 2 utility companies and 2 airports, all on their platform that are engaging with the government. On the Messenger platform, we've been super lucky to work with an organization called 1.3. 1.3 started with a simple premise. They wanted to be the WebMD of Colombia. They wanted to see how they can connect regular people with doctors to answer questions. And their premise was, we need to make sure that just like there's a WebMD in the United States, that we have one that is localized. We worked together. Our first meeting was at our Facebook office, and they came in and they told us about their platform, and we were interested in seeing how we could foster that spirit of entrepreneurship and foster their growth. And we worked with them on a platform called Free Basics. This platform allows you to connect with the unconnected. And as they grew their platform from just an idea to growing it across Colombia, they completely changed their mission statement. From wanting to be the WebMD of Colombia, they changed it to making sure that people who had never had access to a doctor had the opportunity to connect directly with a doctor on a platform. Now, think about that. The idea that somebody has never talked to a doctor, that you're getting your medical advice from your grandmother or your aunt or a neighbor exclusively, really changes the way that people are interacting with technology. I'm super excited to have worked with them, and today they are launching their new messenger app, which is now available across the region, not just for people that haven't connected with doctors, but also like WebMD for anyone that has a question. They've localized the text so that whether you are in the outer reaches of Colombia, in Mexico, wherever you are, Guatemala, Honduras, and maybe you speak in a dialect that isn't something that could be regional, they have made sure that their AI is so precise that they are able to connect with you regardless of how you spell the word, as long as you are making sure that you're interacting and that you're sharing your location. The third platform that we're building on is the Internetorg platform. And this platform is all about connectivity. So if we remember back to that story that I told you about OneDoc3 and starting with them, it's a platform that ensures that we are connecting the next billion people. It's about making sure that the same opportunities that all of us have in this room, that we're making them available to those people across the globe who have not yet connected. And the best way to tell this story of Juan Football and what they've been able to do and how they've been able to connect with people through sports is in their words. Is it possible to get music for the video? Well, the story that it tells is about how this organization was able to connect directly with Mexicans who had previously not been online for the first time through sports. The idea was simple. People always want to see what their favorite athletes are doing. They want to connect with the entertainers. They want to connect with the soccer players. And in Mexico, as the video started saying, there is no more universal language than football. And it was
entrar a consultar sitios como Juan Fútbol. Free Basics abre la puerta a un 100% de las personas. Juan Fútbol es una persona que va caminando en la calle, que es gordo, que es alto, que es flaco, que es rubio, que es moreno.
Juan Fútbol sueña con estar el corazón de todo aficionado al fútbol a nivel mundial. Eso me parece es la magia de entregar el acceso en línea a millones de personas que hasta ahora no la habían podido tener. Esa es la maravilla de Free Basics para nosotros.
And so working to make sure that we enable developers with the tools and services that they need on the Free Basics platform to connect with those people that they're bringing online for the first time is one of the ways that we're partnering on community. When we're thinking about data, one of the things that we hear is that people don't have access to more data. A few years ago, we saw that the United Nations used social media to get accurate information when disasters happened. They were relying on social media to provide them that critical information that they needed to better understand how to best use resources. Because most of the information that they were using, aside from social media, was census data, which typically was between 5 to 10 years old. So what we did is we created and inexpensive, through our data, we allowed them to access inexpensive and fast data. Within 24 to 72 hours, they could see specifically what was going on the ground. In Peru, we were able to use this during the last floods, which was really, really important because as all of us know here, there was so much that was shifting and constantly changing, and allocating those resources is an important moment of life or death. You can see in this information of the city of Piura, which is one of the cities that was most devastated by the floods, how we are able to zoom in at a very concise level in order for these organizations to figure out where exactly they should go. And now, let's talk about programs. And we're going to bring this back to Miami just for a little bit. The programs that we're launching are, again, all about community. And this picture was taken here in Miami a couple of years ago while we were thinking about the best ways to do this. We're super excited to have launched the program called FB Start. And this program was launched 3 years ago. The premise of this program was that Mark thought to himself and wanted to make sure that all developers, no matter how big or how small, no matter whether they were in the United States and had access to Silicon Valley, or were in Sao Paulo or in Guatemala City, had access to the tools and resources that every single entrepreneur needs to start a business. So anyone that has a mobile site, anyone that has an app, or anyone that has a bot built on the Messenger platform can access the FB Start program to get those tools and resources. We're making this available for everyone who's at this conference to make sure that as you start your new businesses, your new startups, or are part of the startups that you're already with, that you can have those tools and resources which were so key to Facebook's growth. The second program that we're super excited to announce is Developer Circles. Developer Circles were launched at F8 this year, and it is a way for us to engage with multipliers at the community level. So making sure that we are fostering that idea that the only way that we can build the better products and co-innovate together is by really digging deep into the community, talking to the hackers, to the students, to the enthusiasts, to anyone that's a technologist, and bringing them together to have the conversations on those tools and services. The first time that we piloted the Developer Circle program was in Mexico City, and now it's a global program. And so as we think about Miami and Emerge, a question that I get asked a lot is, why are you in Miami? Facebook is based in San Francisco. MPK technically, Menlo Park, but it's a question that I ask myself sometimes when I was thinking about where I was going to go and where I wanted to ensure that I was building this regional presence. How many of us are from Miami? Don't be shy, you can put your hands up. And how many of us are from somewhere in Latin America? So I can't see very well because there's a lot of lights, but it looks like there's a large percent of us in the audience that are from Miami, myself included, and a large percentage, if not half, more than half, that are from Latin America. Miami is that bridge city. Miami is a city that brings the region together. And as we think about innovation in Miami, we think about the opportunities to really be a part of that community and bridge the entrepreneurial mindset, the technologist mindset, with the needs of the community. And that's why Miami is such an important place. We've all read the Kaufman Report. We know that entrepreneurship is at the DNA of what we're doing. We also know that this is a city with the most immigrant CEOs across the nation. And reading Mary Meeker's report that came out a few weeks ago, we know that that's key to ensuring the long-term success of startups because it brings those different and diverse ideas together. And so having the opportunity to co-innovate together and being at merely the starting point of this ecosystem is really exciting for me personally and also for Facebook as we think about community. And I want to leave with one last image. This is an image in the background taken a couple of weeks ago. And it was with a small group of girls that came to the Facebook's office to code on a Saturday and to create these really fun electric bracelets that lit up after they designed them. It was a little scary for the lawyer in the group because they were using some soldering in the office, which we technically don't allow. But there was one girl in particular in the group who raised her hand halfway through the event and asked if she could have a Facebook internship. Now, this young girl was probably around 9 years old. I tried to explain that Facebook does not offer internships for coders, no matter how great they are when they're 9. And she raised her hand again and said, okay, well, when I'm in high school, can I be an intern? And I said, I don't know, I'm gonna have to get back to you. I'm really not sure if we take high school interns. I've since learned that we do, so if there are any high schoolers in the audience, you should apply. And then she raised her hand again, and she obviously was not very happy with my answer of I don't know. And she said, well, do you think that I could apply to be an intern as a middle schooler? And for her, the idea that she couldn't be an intern during high school wasn't because we didn't offer an internship program. It was because she was asking the wrong question, and I obviously didn't have the answers that she needed. And it's that innovation, that drive captured by this 9-year-old girl that we see in all of the leaders that we have at Emerge. It's that energy that's pervasive in Miami and that is unique to Miami. And so as Facebook thinks about community, we want to build it here, with you, with all of you, to make sure that we are creating the best products and tools for this community and that then we can take globally. Thank you so much.